Setting the year is 2387. The Galactic Federation has existed for over 2,000 years, comprising hundreds of peaceful species across the galaxy. Humans joined only 50 years ago and are still considered newcomers and oddities. Opening scene. The emergency beacon crackles across subspace. Reaching the Federation Council on Zentari Prime. Ambassador Zexthara, a tall, blue-skinned Zentarian with 4 arms, receives the distress call from the mining colony of Kepler 442b. This is Colony Administrator Chun Wei of the Kepler mining outpost. The transmission begins, static heavy in the background. We are under attack by unknown hostiles. Our defenses have failed. We have 300 civilians, including families. Please, anyone who receives this, we need immediate assistance. The Federation's response. The Federation Council convenes in their crystalline chamber. Species representatives from across the galaxy sit in floating chairs. Their forms diverse, some gaseous, others insectoid, many humanoid but alien in subtle ways. The Kepler colony is beyond our military reach, announces High Counselor Zarkonian, his tentacles swaying with worry. Our nearest peacekeeping fleet is 6 standard days away. The holographic display shows the colony's location deep in disputed space, near the territory of the Zircon hegemony, a militant empire known for their ruthless expansion. What ships do we have in that sector? Asks Counselor Vexami, her crystalline form refracting the chamber's light. Only a human patrol vessel, replies the fleet coordinator. The U.E.'s Prometheus, commanded by Captain Sarah Martinez. A collective ripple of concern passes through the assembly. The humans, while members of the Federation, were still largely unknown. Their planet, Earth, was classified as a Class 12, Deathworld designation that made most species uncomfortable. The human ship aboard the U.E.'s Prometheus. Captain Sarah Martinez stands on the bridge. She's a compact woman with steel-gray eyes and short black hair, her uniform bearing the insignia of the Terran Defense Force. Around her, her crew works with quiet efficiency. Captain, we're receiving a Federation emergency broadcast, reports Lieutenant Jung-Hoon Park from the communications station. Sarah listens to Chun Wei's desperate plea, her expression hardening. Distance to Kepler 442b? 18 hours at maximum burn, Captain, answers Navigator Min-Jun Kim. What's our current mission status? Sarah asks her executive officer, Commander Seo-Yeon Choi. Routine patrol. Nothing that can't wait, Seo-Yeon replies. Understanding the unspoken question. Sarah doesn't hesitate. Set course for Kepler 442b. Maximum burn. All hands to battle stations. The unknown enemy on Kepler 442b. Chun Wei crouches behind makeshift barricades in the colony's main habitat dome. Through the transparent aluminum windows, he can see the attackers' massive, armored creatures standing 3 meters tall, wielding energy weapons that cut through their defenses like paper. Sir, another section has fallen, reports Security Chief Yuki Tanaka, her voice tight with fear. These things, they're not like anything in our databases. Chun peers at the attackers through his binoculars. They move with predatory grace despite their size, their black armor seeming to absorb light. Most disturbing are their faces or lack thereof. Where features should be, there are only smooth, reflective surfaces. They're hurting us, Chun realizes with growing horror. They want us alive. The Federation's limitations back on Zentari Prime. The Federation Council continues their emergency session. Reports stream in from across the galaxy. 17 colonies have gone dark in the past month, all in remote sectors, all beyond immediate military response. We must consider that this is a coordinated attack, High Counselor Zarkonian states gravely. But by whom? These attackers don't match any known species. What of the human vessel? asks Counselor Plexandra, her voice carrying the harmonics of her aquatic homeworld. Surely one small ship cannot make a difference. The holographic display shows the Prometheus a sleek vessel, barely 200 meters long, dwarfed by the massive Federation dreadnoughts. The humans are inexperienced in galactic warfare, Sarkonian says carefully. Their technology is primitive by our standards. But it is all we have. Sarah's determination on the Prometheus. Sarah studies the tactical display with her senior staff. The colony's situation looks grim, hundreds of civilians trapped, unknown attackers with superior numbers. Captain, CO Yan says quietly, the Federation expects us to observe and report. These colonists ... They're not even human. Sarah's jaw tightens. They asked for aid, Commander. And they're Federation citizens. That makes them our responsibility. She turns to address her crew, her voice carrying through the ship's comm system. All hands, this is the captain. We're heading into combat to save civilians under attack. I won't lie, we're outnumbered and outgunned. But we're human, and we don't abandon people who need help. Prepare for battle. The crew responds with quiet determination. They've served under Sarah long enough to trust her judgment. Even when facing impossible odds, as the Prometheus streaks through hyperspace toward Kepler 442b, none aboard realize they're about to introduce the galaxy to something new. The concept of a Deathworld species in full protective mode. Asterisk arrival at Kepler 442b. Prometheus drops out of hyperspace at the edge of the Kepler system. Immediately, alarms sound across the bridge as the sensors detect multiple unknown vessels in orbit around the mining colony's planet. Captain, I'm reading 12 hostile ships, reports Sensor Officer Lieutenant Raj Patel. Configuration unknown. They single quotes re.big. Sarah studies the tactical display. The enemy vessels are massive, each one easily 5 times the size of her ship. They hang in space like dark crescents, their hulls absorbing sensor sweeps. Any response to our hails? She asks. Nothing, Captain. Yong-hoon replies from communications. They're jamming all frequencies to the surface. But I'm detecting weapons fire planetside. The colony under siege on the surface. Chun Wei huddles with the remaining survivors in the colony's emergency shelter. Through the reinforced windows, he watches the attackers methodically destroy their equipment while herding civilians into groups. They're not killing anyone, whispers Dr. Lisa Chun, the colony's chief medical officer. They want us alive, but for what? Security Chief Tanaka checks her weapon, a standard Federation energy pistol that barely scratched their attacker's armor. Sir, we've lost contact with Section C and D. These things are cutting through our defenses like they're made of paper. Chun activates his emergency transmitter one last time. This is Kepler Colony to any Federation vessel. We have maybe 2 hours before they breach our final perimeter. 300 souls are counting on you. First strike aboard the Prometheus. Sarah makes her decision. Launch all reconnaissance drones. I want to know what we're facing. CO Yan, what's our weapons status? All systems operational, Captain. Missile tubes loaded, railguns charged, point defense systems online. 12 ships against 1, mutters Chief Engineer Torres from his station. I've seen better odds at a casino. Sarah allows herself a thin smile. They don't know what a Deathworlder can do when cornered. Take us in evasive pattern delta. Target the ship closest to the colony. The Prometheus accelerates toward the enemy fleet, its hull gleaming silver against the star field. To the alien vessels, it must look impossibly small and insignificant. The enemy responds. Largest enemy vessel, a kilometer-long monstrosity, turns its attention to the approaching human ship. Without warning, it fires. The beam that lances out is pure destruction, designed to vaporize anything in its path. But Captain Martinez has been in combat before, against pirates in the outer colonies. She knows how to read an enemy's intentions. Evasive maneuvers. She shouts. The Prometheus twists through space with impossible agility. Its human-designed engines pushing the ship beyond what other species consider safe limits. The death ray passes harmlessly through empty space. They're targeting. Systems are too slow, observes Tactical Officer Commander Zhang Wei. They're not used to fighting something this maneuverable. And let's show them what human engineering can do, Sarah says grimly. Fire all forward missiles. Target their weapons arrays. Unexpected effective NS-36 missiles streak from the Prometheus, each one guided by human-designed AI that adapts and learns in real time. The enemy vessel attempts to shoot them down, but the missiles dance through the defensive fire like living things. The impacts send shockwaves through the alien ship. Explosions bloom across its hull as the missiles find weak points that the enemy didn't know they had. Impossible, whispers the alien commander aboard the flagship, speaking in the harsh clicks of the Void Hunters, a species thought extinct by the galactic community. The small vessel should have been destroyed instantly. The hunters become the hunted. Sarah doesn't give the enemy time to recover. Bring us about. Target their engines with the railguns. The Prometheus spins like a dancer, its main guns swiveling to track the wounded alien vessel. When they fire, the kinetic projectiles move at a significant fraction of light speed, far faster than energy weapons. The tungsten slugs punch through the alien ship's armor like it's made of tissue paper. Secondary explosions ripple along the hull as internal systems overload. One down, Sarah says coolly. 11 to go. Panic in the fleet asterisk. Aboard the other alien vessels, confusion reigns. The Void Hunters are an ancient species, masters of stealth and overwhelming force. They've conquered dozens of worlds without losing a single ship. The small craft destroyed the Death's Edge, reports the tactical coordinator, his voice filled with disbelief. How is this possible? Fleet Commander Kethfer studies the tactical display, his 4 eyes focusing on the human vessel as it dances between his ships, too fast to pin down, too dangerous to ignore. What species is this? He hisses. Database identifies them as humans, a recent addition to the Federation. Their homeworld is classified as I, Class 12 Deathworld. Kethfer's blood runs cold. Deathworlders. They should have researched this species more carefully before attacking their colonies. The rescue begins taking advantage of the confusion. Sarah orders a daring maneuver. Take us into the atmosphere. We're going to extract those civilians. Captain, the enemy ships will follow us down, warns Seo Yan. Let them, Sarah replies with ice in her voice. In atmosphere, their size becomes a disadvantage. Min-Jun, take us down fast and hard. Show these aliens what a Deathworld pilot can do. The Prometheus plunges toward the planet's surface like a falling star, the enemy fleet scrambling to follow. But human ships are built to survive re-entry from Earth, world where the weather itself tries to kill you. As they break through the clouds. Sarah can see the colony below, surrounded by the dark forms of ground forces. The real battle is about to begin. All hands, prepare for ground support operations, she announces. We're going to save every single person down there. Asterisk atmospheric entry. The Prometheus screams through Kepler 442b's atmosphere like a meteor. Behind them, 3 enemy vessels attempt to follow, but their massive hulls aren't designed for atmospheric flight. One clips a mountain peak and crashes in a ball of fire. 2 pursuing vessels still tracking us, reports Min-Jun, sweat beading on his forehead as he pilots through the turbulent atmosphere. They're firing. Energy beams lance past the Prometheus, scorching the ground below. Sarah grips her command chair as the ship bucks and weaves. Return fire with dorsal turrets, she orders. Keep them busy while we reach the colony. First look at the enemy. Through the view screen, the crew gets their first clear look at the ground forces surrounding the colony. The Void Hunters stand 3 meters tall in their black armor, moving with predatory grace despite their size. But what chills Sarah's blood are the transport cages hundreds of alien civilians from other colonies already captured. "My God," whispers Dr. Sarah Kim from her position at the medical station. "They've been doing this for weeks." Chan Wei's voice crackles through the comm system. "Federation vessel, thank the stars you're here. We've got maybe 30 minutes before they breach our final shelter. There are children in here." Sarah's jaw tightens. C.O. Young, prep the Marine Squad. Full combat gear. "Captain, we only have 12 Marines," her executive officer points out. "Then 12 will have to be enough." The human Marines in the ship's armory. Gunnery Sergeant Maria Santos briefs her squad. "These aren't ordinary soldiers. They're humans who grew up on a death world where everything tries to kill you from birth." "Listen up, Marines," Santos barks. "Intel says these hostiles are 3 meters tall and armored. Our standard pulse rifles might not cut it." Corporal Alex Thompson, a wiry man from the Australian outback, grins. "Good thing we brought the heavy stuff then, Gunny." The Marines checked their weapons, railgun rifles, plasma grenades, and armor-piercing rounds designed to punch through starship hulls. But their greatest weapon is something the aliens don't expect: human adaptability. The drop the Prometheus hovers 50 meters above the colony as the Marines rappel down on carbon fiber cables. Below them, Void Hunter ground forces turn their weapons skyward, energy beams slicing through the air. Incoming fire. Santos shouts into her comm. "Scatter pattern." The Marines spread out as they descend, using their smaller size and agility to avoid the enemy fire. When they hit the ground, they're already moving, finding cover behind mining equipment and prefab buildings. "Contact left," shouts Private Kim Yuki, opening fire with her railgun rifle. The tungsten round punches through a Void Hunter's armor like paper, sending the massive alien crashing backward. The enemy's confusion is immediate and total. Their weapons are designed to fight other galactic species beings, who stand behind energy shields and trade volleys at long range. They've never faced an enemy that uses kinetic weapons and aggressive, close-quarters tactics. Urban warfare, the battle becomes a deadly game of cat and mouse through the colony's prefab structures. The Marines use their knowledge of human urban warfare, gained from centuries of conflict on Earth. Corporal Thompson slides under a mining crawler and emerges behind 2 Void Hunters, his plasma grenade taking them both down. "These guys fight like they're in a parade ground," he reports. "No tactical awareness at all. But the aliens adapt quickly." Their leader, a massive Void Hunter with red markings on his armor, begins coordinating his forces through sonic communication that the humans can't hear. Breakthrough inside the colony shelter. Chan Wei watches through the security monitors as the human Marines tear through enemy positions. But the Void Hunters are regrouping, bringing up heavy weapons. "They're surrounding the Marines," he tells Dr. Lisa Chun. "There are too many of them." That's when Sarah makes a decision that will become legend in the galactic community. "All hands, this is the captain. We're taking the Prometheus down to ground level. I want close air support for our Marines." "Captain," warns Chief Engineer Torres, "the ship isn't designed for hover operations in atmosphere with active combat." "Then we'll make it work," Sarah replies grimly. Ship-to-ground combat, the Prometheus descends until it's barely 20 meters above the colony, its engines keeping it stable against gravity. From this position, its weapons can support the Marines with surgical precision. "Target the enemy heavy weapons," Sarah orders. "Don't hit our people." The ship's railguns speak with thunder, each shot precisely placed to eliminate Void Hunter positions without endangering the Marines or civilians. The aliens have never seen a starship used this way, Most species consider it insanely dangerous. Turning the tide, with air support from their ship, the Marines begin pushing back the Void Hunter forces. Sergeant Santos leads a charge toward the main enemy position, her squad moving with deadly efficiency. Gunny, we've got civilian cages over here. REPORTS, Corporal Martinez, is covering the transport containers filled with captured aliens from other colonies. Free them all, Santos orders. Every soul we save is a victory. The rescued civilians' various Federation species, who've been captives for weeks, stare in amazement at their human rescuers. Many have never seen humans before, and they're shocked by the intensity and effectiveness of human combat methods. The enemy retreats faced with losses they never expected. The remaining Void Hunters begin falling back to their ships. But Fleet Commander Kethver isn't finished. From orbit, he watches the impossible scene, a single human vessel holding its ground against his entire fleet. Prepare the planet Cracker weapon, he orders his weapons officer. If we cannot capture the prey, we will deny them to these ... humans. Sir, that will destroy everything on the surface, including our own forces. Acceptable losses, Kethver hisses. These Deathworlders must not be allowed to report back to their Federation. In space above Kepler 442b, the massive flagship begins charging a weapon capable of cracking the planet's crust. The real test of human determination is about to begin. Asterisk. The planet Cracker charges aboard a Void Hunter flagship Eternal Hunger. Fleet Commander Kethvar watches the charging sequence of his most devastating weapon. The planet Cracker draws power from the ship's core, building up energy that could split a world in half. Weapon charging at 60%, reports his tactical officer. Full charge in 4 minutes. Sir, interrupts the communications officer, his voice trembling. We're receiving a transmission from the human vessel. Put it through, Kethver orders. Curious what these Deathworlders might say in their final moments. Sarah's declaration on the bridge of the Prometheus. Sarah stands before the main viewer, her steel-gray eyes locked on the enemy flagship. Behind her, alarms sound as the ship's sensors detect the massive energy buildup. Void Hunter vessel, this is Captain Sarah Martinez of the United Earthship Prometheus, she begins, her voice deadly calm. You have attacked Federation civilians. You have taken prisoners. You have threatened innocent lives. And now you're preparing to destroy an entire planet to cover your crimes. She pauses, and when she continues, there's something in her voice that makes even her own crew shiver. You made one critical error. You attacked when humans were watching. And you're about to learn why Earth is classified as a Class 12 death world. The impossible Planketh cuts the transmission with a dismissive gesture. Empty threats from a dying species. But on the Prometheus, Sarah turns to her crew with a plan so insane it might actually work. Zaan, recall all Marines immediately. Chief Torres, I need every bit of power from the engines redirected to the forward shields and inertial dampers. Captain, Torres says slowly, what are you planning? Sarah's smile is cold as space itself. We're going to ram that flagship. The bridge falls silent. Navigator Minjun is the first to speak. Captain, that ship is 20 times our mass. Even at full speed, we'd barely scratch their hull. Not their hull, Sarah corrects. Their weapon array. Jung-hoon, patch me through to Chun-Wei on the surface. The surface evacuation down on Kepler 442b. The rescued civilians and colonists watch in amazement as the human Marines organize a full evacuation in record time. Sergeant Santos has turned the colony's landing pad into a triage center, where Dr. Sarah Kim treats the wounded from multiple species. All civilians to the emergency shelters, Santos barks. Deepest level you can find. This is going to get rough. Chun Wei approaches her, his face pale. Sergeant, Captain Martinez just contacted me. She says we have 3 minutes to get everyone underground. What's happening up there? Santos looks up at the sky, where energy discharges from the space battle light up the clouds like aurora. Our captain is about to do something very stupid and very brave, just like humans always do. The death ride aboard the Prometheus. Every system is pushed beyond safe limits. The ship accelerates toward the massive Void Hunter flagship at maximum burn, its hull glowing from atmospheric friction as they climb back toward space. 2 minutes to impact, reports Min Jun, his hands steady on the controls despite the impossible odds. Planet Cracker at 90% charge, adds Sensor Officer Patel. If we don't stop them in time, ... We will, Sarah says with absolute certainty. Because we're human, and we don't quit. The crew works with deadly efficiency, each person knowing their role in this desperate gambit. They're not just fighting for the colony, no. They're fighting for every world the Void Hunters might target next. Enemy panic on the flagship. Alarms shriek as the human vessel approaches at ramming speed. Kethver stares at the tactical display in disbelief. They're actually doing it, he whispers. The mad creatures are actually going to ram us. Sir, recommend we abort the Planet Cracker and focus all weapons on the human ship, urges his tactical officer. No. Kethver snarls. Maintain charging sequence. All point defense. Target that ship. Destroy it before impact. Energy beams lance out from the flagship, dozens of them converging on the Prometheus. But the human ship's shields hold, and what gets through is absorbed by armor designed to survive re-entry on a death world. The impact, the Prometheus strikes the Void Hunter flagship like a guided missile, its reinforced prow punching deep into the alien vessel's weapon array. The impact sends shockwaves through both ships, but the flagship's size works against it. The massive structure can't absorb the kinetic energy fast enough. Explosions bloom along the weapon array as the Planet Cracker overloads, its stored energy having nowhere to go. Secondary explosions ripple through the flagship's hull as the unstable energy discharge tears through internal systems. Survival and sacrifice on the bridge of the Prometheus. Emergency lighting flickers as damage reports flood in. The ship is dying, but it's done its job. Hull breach on decks 3 through 7, reports Chief Torres, his voice strained. Life support failing. We need to abandon ship. Negative, Sarah says firmly. We're not done yet. The other enemy ships are still out there. Through the smoke and sparks, she can see the remaining Void Hunter vessels retreating, their flagship crippled and burning. But Sarah knows they'll be back with reinforcements. Jung-hoon, send a message to Federation Command. Full tactical data on the enemy. Tell them the Void Hunters are real, they're hunting civilians, and they need to be stopped. Message away, Captain. Sarah looks around at her crew battered, but unbroken, human to the core. Now we finish this fight. The Hunter becomes hunted in the depths of space. Fleet Commander Kethvar watches his flagship die around him. Half his fleet is destroyed or crippled, and the humans have broadcast everything to their Federation. For the first time in his long life, the ancient predator feels something he's never experienced before: fear. These humans aren't like other species. They don't surrender. They don't negotiate. They fight to the death and take their enemies with them. Set course for the outer rim, he orders his remaining ships. We retreat. But as his fleet limps away from Kepler 442b, Kethver knows the truth. The hunt has turned. The galaxy now knows the Void Hunters exist, and worse. They know humans are coming for them. The age of easy prey is over. Asterisk. 3 months later, Federation Council chambers. Crystalline halls of the Federation Council buzz with unprecedented activity. Representatives from hundreds of species gather in emergency session. their forms casting strange shadows in the chamber's light. At the center stands Admiral Sarah Martinez, promoted after her actions at Kepler 442b, addressing the assembled galaxy. "The Void Hunter threat is real," she states, her voice carrying clearly through the chamber's acoustics. "Our intelligence indicates at least 40 colony worlds have been attacked in the past year. Thousands of civilians taken as slaves." High Counselor Zarkonian-S tentacles writhe with agitation. "Admiral Martinez, while we appreciate humanity's direct approach to the situation, surely diplomatic solutions should be explored first." Sarah's steel-gray eyes fix on the Zentarian leader. "Counselor, you can't negotiate with a species that views you as livestock. The Void Hunters have been extinct for 2,000 years, according to our records. They've spent that time hiding, building, preparing for a galaxy-wide harvest. The human fleet arrives through the chamber's massive windows. The assembled delegates can see the sight that has stunned the galaxy. A human battle fleet holding position near Zentari Prime. 50 warships of various classes, all bearing the insignia of the Terran Defense Force. "Impressive," murmurs Counselor Vexami, her crystalline form refracting light as she studies the fleet. "How did humanity build so many warships so quickly?" "We didn't build them for this war," Sarah replies. "We built them for the last one. Humans have been fighting each other for millennia. When we joined the Federation, we didn't disarm. We just stopped pointing our weapons at each other." The implication sends ripples of unease through the assembly. Most Federation species had achieved peace through unity and understanding. Humans had achieved it through superior firepower and mutual assured destruction. The rescue operations begin Captain Sean Wei, now serving as liaison between the Federation and human forces, presents the tactical displays. His experience at Kepler 442b made him invaluable in coordinating rescue operations. "We've identified 17 active Void Hunter facilities," he explains, highlighting star systems on the holographic map. "Each one holds thousands of prisoners from different species, but they're all heavily defended. Then we go in hard and fast," says Admiral Martinez. "Task Force Hammer will hit 3 facilities simultaneously. No warnings, no negotiations. We punch through their defenses, extract the civilians, and slag their infrastructure." The peace-loving species of the Federation recoil at such direct language. But the representatives whose people are being held captive nod grimly in approval. Task Force Hammer in action. The human assault on the Void Hunter slave facilities becomes the stuff of legend. At the Zarian Nebula facility, the human destroyer Sol punches through the orbital defenses in 17 minutes. Its Marine contingent led by the now famous Gunnery Sergeant Santos. "Breacher charges on the containment doors," Santos orders, her tactical display showing thousands of imprisoned aliens. "We're getting every single person out of here." The Void Hunter guards, expecting their usual overwhelming advantage, find themselves facing enemies who fight with a fury they've never encountered. Human weapons, designed for warfare on a death world, tear through their armor like tissue paper. But it's not just the weapons that shock the aliens, it's the tactics. Humans fight in 3 dimensions, use the environment as a weapon, and never, ever give up ground when defending civilians. The freed prisoners DR. Jung-Hoon Park, now serving aboard the hospital ship Mercy, treats the liberated prisoners. The psychological trauma is severe, but there's something else, a growing legend spreading among the rescued aliens. "The humans came for us," whispers a Deltarian child to her mother, her blue skin still bearing the marks of captivity. "They fought the shadow monsters and won." An elderly Zentarian elder, prisoner for months, grips Jung-Hoon's hand with surprising strength. "Doctor, in my species' history, we have legends of warriors who fight not for conquest, but for protection. We thought they were myths." Jung-Hoon smiles gently. "We call ourselves peacekeepers now. But we've always been protectors. The Void Hunter Response Fleet Commander Kethfer, now operating from a hidden base in the galactic rim, watches the tactical reports with growing desperation. In 3 months, humans have liberated over 200,000 prisoners and destroyed 12 major facilities. How are they doing this? He hisses to his tactical coordinator. Their ships are smaller, their weapons less advanced. Sir, the coordinator replies nervously, they fight differently. They take casualties we would never accept, make sacrifices we cannot understand. And they never stop coming. Kethfer's 4 eyes narrow. Then we escalate. Prepare the final protocol. If we cannot harvest this galaxy, we will cleanse it. The final confrontation on the bridge of her flagship, the dreadnought Valiant, Admiral Martinez receives the intelligence report she's been dreading. The Void Hunters are gathering their remaining forces for one massive assault, not on military targets, but on the Federation's most populated worlds. Ma'am, reports her intelligence officer, Commander Seo-Yan Choi. They're targeting Earth, Centauri Prime, and 12 other core worlds simultaneously. If they succeed, they won't, Sarah states with absolute certainty. Signal the fleet. All ships, prepare for the final battle. And send a message to every human ship in the galaxy. We're going to war. The galaxy watches in the Federation Council chambers. The assembled representatives watch the tactical displays as human fleets move to intercept the Void Hunter Armada. The enemy force is massive hundreds of ships, accumulated over centuries of hiding. They're outnumbered 5-1, observes High Counselor Zarkonian, his voice filled with worry. Chun Wei, now wearing the uniform of a Federation liaison officer, stands tall. Counselor, you still don't understand humans. We've been outnumbered before. It just makes us fight harder. A promise as the human fleets accelerate toward their final confrontation with the Void Hunters. Admiral Martinez broadcasts to the entire galaxy a message that will be remembered for millennia. Citizens of the Federation, this is Admiral Sarah Martinez of the Terran Defense Force. 3 months ago, you called for aid. We answered. Today, an ancient evil threatens everything we've built together. And we answer again. Her voice carries the weight of absolute conviction. We are human. We are from Earth-a-world that tried to kill us every day for millions of years. We survived by protecting each other. Today, you are all human. You are all under our protection. And we will not fail you. In the depths of space, 2 philosophies prepare to clash. Those who take what they want through strength, and those who protect what they love with everything they have. The galaxy holds its breath as Deathworlders prepare to show the universe what happens when you threaten their family. Epilogue 1 year later. The memorial on Kepler 442b bears a simple inscription in 100 languages. They called for aid and humanity answered. The statue depicts Captain Sarah Martinez and her crew, but the inscription lists every human who died protecting the galaxy. Chun Wei, now Director of Interspecies Relations, stands before the memorial with his daughter. Remember this, little one. This is what humans do. This is why the galaxy sleeps peacefully. Above them, patrol ships from a dozen species maintain their watch. But the real guardians are the human vessels that patrol, the outer rim ensuring that predators know there. Are bigger predators watching? The galaxy learned that day that Deathworlders don't just survive, they protect. And once you're under their protection, nothing in the universe can touch you. Asterisk.